Good evening, everyone. Let's see who we have in the house tonight. Brian Hedges, welcome. I made you a co-host.
Thank you, John.
Glad to have you here, Brian. Bukasa, Christina Collins, welcome. David Richards, Don Chadwick, James Burrows, Janice, Rayvon, Ross. I'm thrilled you carved out time from your busy lives to be here. Whether this is your first time in first glimpse into BDM or you're already part of our growing community, your presence here tonight could be the turning point you've been waiting for. Let me ask you something direct. Why are you really here? Maybe you're drowning in bills that multiply faster than your income, credit cards screaming at their limits, your kids watching you stress about money, learning that struggle is normal. Or perhaps you're lying awake doing mental math, groceries or gas this week, but not both. But here's what's really keeping you up at night. Where will you be in 5 years, if absolutely nothing changes? Still trapped in the paycheck to paycheck cycle, still telling your family we can't afford it while watching others live the life you dream about, still hoping someday will magically arrive. The brutal truth? Every day you hesitate, someone else is building your dream life. While you're thinking about it, others are banking 1,000 plus daily in commissions. That dream vacation, that financial freedom, that peace of mind, someone just claimed it with BDM income. What legacy are you creating? Are you teaching your children that hard work equals staying poor, that opportunities belong to other people? Your family deserves to witness you finally winning. Here's the question that should terrify you. At 80 years old, what will hurt more? Regretting a $10 to $50 investment that could have transformed everything, or regretting that you played it safe and stayed broke your entire life? The window is closing. Right now, you're among the first to discover BDM. In 6 months, you'll be watching others celebrate their success while you're still researching. Don't be that person. But here's the beautiful truth. All this financial pain ends with one decision, one small investment, one powerful yes that separates you from the trap forever. Tonight, we're unlocking a timeless wealth principle: give, and it shall be given unto you. You know this works with farming, plant seeds, harvest crops. But did you know the wealthiest people on earth have been using this same principle with money for centuries? They give strategically because they understand the multiplying return. Here's the game changer. Giving doesn't always mean money, and paying it forward doesn't always have to cost you a dime. The revolutionary giving strategy we'll reveal tonight is something anyone can do right now, exactly where you are. It unlocks blessings, builds unstoppable relationships, amplifies your influence, and creates life-changing ripple effects that start with you. If you've ever thought, how can I give when I barely have enough for myself? Then this presentation was designed specifically for you. Let's transform your financial future together.
The person who sent you this video is offering to pay $100 to put you in business. You might ask, what kind of business would even be worth looking at if it only costs $100? Stick with me for the next couple of minutes. You'll be glad you did. I'm John Austin. Welcome to Better Deals in Money, or BDM for short. We're a private membership club. No ads, no hype. We grow one invitation at a time, just like this one. Here's what makes BDM different. Real products, real member benefits, real ways to earn. You can earn commissions from product sales, raise funds through private crowdfunding clubs built on giving and receiving, or even earn without making a donation. But in this video, I'm going to focus on crowdfunding, the part that could seriously rock your world. But first, let me show you why our compensation plan is the backbone of everything we do. Imagine designing the perfect compensation plan. What would that be? Perhaps something for the little guy, showing someone who's not great at recruiting how they could still earn an endless stream of perpetual profits. Or maybe a system for the masses, where a small amount of money leveraged correctly turns into a fortune fast. Or perhaps something for attracting the best team builders in the world, allowing them to profit not only from their own efforts, but from everyone in the company. Tough decision, right? Welcome to Better Deals and Money. We decided to do all three. Our hypersonic compensation plan was designed to be simple, superior, and super fast. It starts with 15 different packages ranging from $10 to $20,000. We have a three-sided maximum leverage plan. Number 1. First is our high-powered coded unilevel, where everyone you personally refer takes the next available frontline position. Once they upgrade to any of the 15 levels, your account will start to be flooded with commissions. Payments from your frontline are instantly sent to your back office wallet regardless of your level. The only exception will be the payments from your second and fourth personal referrals, which pass up to your sponsor. This is an awesome feature because it means that all of your people will be passing up payments from their second and fourth referrals to you. Number 2, 1x2 speed matrix. With your position at the top and 2 open positions directly under it, the first payment is yours. The second payment goes to your sponsor and opens a new matrix under your sponsor. This can happen over and over again, creating an endless stream of payments flowing into your wallet. As you upgrade to higher levels, it opens new speed matrices, allowing you to earn from up to 13 unique matrices simultaneously. Last but not least, number 3, our alternate fast track plan. A dynamic earning system designed for speed, simplicity, and serious momentum. Similar in structure to our 1x2 speed matrix, this plan sends every other payment on an alternating path between you and your upline. You receive the first, third, fifth to infinity, while your upline gets the second, fourth, sixth, etc. And the magic multiplies, because your downline does the same with you. This means you earn from every odd payment, your team fuels your growth through their even payments, and your income grows as your team grows, fast and wide. But that's just the beginning. Upgrading unlocks access to up to 13 simultaneous fast-track plans, multiplying your earning streams across each level. As new levels open, so do new payment lanes, allowing you to stack commissions and earn from multiple phases of growth at once. This provides constant incentive to upgrade and grow, built-in leverage for every member, and is perfectly designed for viral team duplication. This is more than just a comp plan. It's your alternate fast track to financial freedom, continuous profit generation. All three sides of the compensation plan work simultaneously, 24/7. That means money is being deposited into your wallet around the clock. This provides profit and capital to upgrade, allowing you to benefit from even larger payments as your referrals upgrade to higher levels. Leadership attraction. To ensure long-term profitability and attract top leaders from around the world, $5 from each package upgrade of $100 or more goes into our monthly top recruiter pool. This pool with no cap is split among the top 10 recruiters each month, offering new leaders the chance to qualify and compete. Think about that for a moment. $5 from every $100 upgrade and above from every Better Deals and Money member in the world with no cap. That means it could eventually be thousands, tens of thousands, or hundreds of thousands of dollars being split by the top 10 recruiters for that month. A plan for everyone. We catered to the little guy, coded compensation payments, even at levels they are not qualified for. A wealth creation machine for the masses. Triple-sided maximum leverage plan, attracting and rewarding the best leaders. Leadership top recruiter pool. We have redefined compensation plans, aiming to create more members successfully earning money than any other project, and fast. Are you ready to build a potential fortune? Ready to participate in the best wealth generation model ever? Welcome to Better Deals and Money. Prepare to move at the speed of success. But here's the real magic, our Pay It Forward system. It is designed to help everyone earn money from all three income streams in our compensation model. Imagine this. The person who invited you offers to pay your way into one of our clubs when you join the matching 1x2 matrix and fast track plan. You can choose any entry level, starting as low as $20, and your sponsor will pay for the corresponding club at whatever level you join. But for this video, we are going to jump right into the $100 level to get you into profit fast. And here's how it works. You join our $100 1x2 matrix and our $100 fast track. Your sponsor will pay for your $100 cash flow club. You then pay it forward for others, helping them join. And you never lose money doing it, but you may lose sleep when you see how much money you earn. Look at how simple this is. Someone joins your $100 1x2 matrix and your $100 fast track. You pay $100 to put them in the cash flow club. You earn $80 from each of the 3 income streams for a total of $240. It cost you $100, leaving you a net profit of $140. Second person earns you nothing, costs you $100 to pay it forward. You're still up $40 in profit. Third person, same cycle as before. You earn $240, cost $100 to pay it forward, back to $180 ahead. Sound like a roller coaster? Hang tight because you never lose money and you are building a business that can pay you millions. Pay it forward for 20 people, you're $1,040 in profit. But that's just the beginning. Now the real numbers kick in. With a conservative team average of just 4 members each, 62 people in your cash flow club brings in $4,960. But truthfully, would you stop paying it forward at just 4 people when you're earning this kind of money? Not likely. What happens when you have 10 people who join? $19,840. Add the gas club, the grocery club, and the car club. $35,712. The house club, $85,312. And the Elite 500 club, $184,512. And no, it's not a perfect world. Not everybody will get 4 or more. But here's the thing, some members bring in hundreds. If we go to level 6, you're now at $374,976. And some legs will grow 100 levels deep and deeper. The numbers from here get way too crazy. So if that's not enough to keep you awake at night, log into your dashboard and play with the income calculators. Now let's look at your second stream of income. But first, let me give a disclaimer. Numbers in the 1x2 matrix may vary due to team members growing at different rates. Eventually, you will pay it forward for 10 or more people, so let's start with 10 personals, and each of them paying it forward for 5 more. Your team grows. You cycle 5 times. You've earned $27,040. Want more? Take $80 from that and join the $10, $20, and $50 matrices. That takes you to $48,672 as your team follows you. Add $250. $116,272. Add $500. Skyrockets you to $251,472. And here's the thing. People don't wait until they earn thousands before leveling up. It happens faster than you think. Follow the system, and millionaire status is no longer a dream. If your team average grows to 6 instead of 5, suddenly we're talking $450,120. If cycles increase to 6, over $1.3 million. And we're not even counting the higher clubs that go up to $20,000. Finally, take a quick look at your third stream of income, the fast track. The best part? You unlock all 3 income streams by building just one team. And since it's hard for me to imagine anybody paying less than 10 people into business with this kind of money being made, let's start with 10 personals and an average of 5 through 5 levels that would pay you $27,040. Join the 10, 20, and 50 plans, $48,672. Add $250, $116,272. Add $500, $251,472. From here, I really don't dare increase the team average or go to the deeper levels because the numbers start getting too crazy. Cost to start, $200 if your sponsor is paying you forward. Cost for you to pay it forward for 10 people? Nothing really, because your earnings consistently outpace your outflow, making generosity not just possible, but also profitable. We created BDM as a place where your giving becomes the gateway to riches. The core message here, you reap what you sow. You reap after you sow, and you reap more than you sow. Blessing others is your key to having everything your heart desires. Your financial future is finally in your hands, if you're ready to move. Grab your boots, lace them up, and get started now, because this could be your last best chance to build real wealth, live your dream, and leave a legacy. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you on the inside.
Okay, before we get into our Q&A, let's talk a little bit about crypto. You know, one of my goals in creating BDM was to help members earn money quickly that they could leverage into even greater wealth by getting in front of the second wave of cryptocurrency that's just now getting started. You know, many of you already know that cryptocurrency has created more millionaires and billionaires in the past 15 years than the previous 150 years. So let's look at how BDM can be your gateway into even greater wealth. Let's talk about a shocking truth. When I first heard about Bitcoin, it was selling for 5 cents. $100 invested then is worth $234 million today. Ethereum hadn't even been invented yet. Most people back then ignored both. I did. Too risky, too confusing, or too new. But today, Bitcoin has crossed $118,000. Ethereum helped launch a trillion-dollar economy, and the early believers, they became millionaires and even billionaires. They weren't special. They were just early. They acted before the world understood what was happening. They even had to go through a learning curve. And now crypto is going mainstream. With only 4% of the world population currently owning any cryptocurrency, the next wave is here. Economists predict that number will rise to 10% in the next 18 months. And this time, it's not just about investing, it's about participating. With BDM, we now give you the power to withdraw your commissions in USDT, a stable currency tied to the US dollar. From there, you can easily convert to any of the other cryptocurrencies, send funds to your bank account, or grow your earnings inside the world of decentralized finance. BDM isn't just about making money, it's about building wealth. And crypto is one of the most powerful tools available today. And the best part, you don't need to be a tech expert. If you can use a phone, you can use crypto. We'll show you how every step of the way. Let's go ahead and open it up for Q&A. I will allow you to unmute. Okay, you can either raise your hand or just click your unmute button. Be glad to hear from you. You're also a co-host there, Brian, so you can speak up anytime you want. James Burrow.
Last question, John. When we were looking at the calculators, one of the options was the cash flow club. What is that? That's the first time I saw it.
Oh, all right. Well, in the video we just watched, James, it talks about the cash flow club. It has some similarities to the 1x2 and also the unilevel. So it's kind of a marriage between those two, if you will. Very, very powerful compensation plan. And, it just fits really well. These three compensation plans working simultaneously with the same people, it makes it possible to do the pay it forward as it's shown in the video so that you never lose any money. You're always going to stay ahead. It allows you to build grow your downline, build a team by helping other people get involved, helping them to get set up with three income streams. Three is always better than one. And with the same people. So as you build a team, you're earning income from three different income streams. So this is really a unique concept. And it gives you a way not only to earn from three income streams, but also to leverage your way up, to scale up to larger income streams, larger levels, all the way up to $20,000. Now, as you saw in the video, we didn't show the elite clubs because the numbers are just, they're really, really crazy. What we're going to see in the not too distant future, I think we're going to see this coming week. I think we're going to see somebody at $100,000 income in the coming week. So, be prepared, invite some people to our, be ready to have some new people on our next conference or webinar because things are starting to get exciting. Things are starting to ramp up. And this is, in my opinion, a great way to do it is the pay it forward system.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome, James. Thanks for asking.
Hmm.
Okay, any more questions? Is
John,
it?
Brian here.
Go ahead, Brian.
I was asked a question by one of my people. One of my people doesn't really sound like by a fellow club member. Um, yeah, look, I take ownership of everything. Um, sorry.
Well, you
The
you you
last,
can you can claim me, Brian. I'll be one of your
yeah,
people.
that's right. Good going, John. Yeah. Uh, Guys, this is a great business. It really is. But what I was going to say was that a week or so back, you talked about somebody earning $7,000 a week, and
Mhm.
my customer, my member, my friend, asked me how they did that. Can you share that with us?
They were doing the what with the video I just showed you,
Yep,
the $100 entry,
yep.
and now this week I think they're stepping it up to the 500, and
Wow.
that's how he expects to go to $100,000.
Many years ago, it's I was told that if somebody has achieved something, we should be able to achieve it also, providing that, we've got the knowledge and we've got the attitude to achieve. And so if somebody's earned $7,000 a week, we should be able to do that too. My biggest income ever was $50,000 a week. It just blew me away. I'd never earned that sort of money before. But, when I was earning $500 a week, I did an MLM deal, and I earned $500 a week for about 9 weeks. Sorry, $50,000. Oh, yeah, $50,000 a week for 9 weeks. Um, and that was pretty exciting. So, all of us sitting here today, set your goals. That's the important thing. And sometimes don't be afraid to dream big, but set stepping stones to get that big dream. So it may be earning your first $10 online, or your first 20, or your first 100, your first 500, your first 1,000. And John's often talked about many people who have now become millionaires started off looking to earn an extra $300 to $500 a month to cover their basic needs or to meet some uh, costs that were coming up. They weren't aiming to make $1 million, but when they saw how easy it was to make three or four, $500 a month, they just kept on going. And as we say in the industry, wash, rinse, and repeat. I'll
That's
shut up
right.
now.
Yeah, there are some very simple things that make this business work. Okay. Most people try to make it too difficult. They try to, or they imagine that they don't understand how to build the business. But all of us do. All of us were really grew up with that innate ability. If we wanted somebody, if we had a birthday party and we wanted people to come to our birthday party, what did we do? We invite. How did you meet your spouse? Did you invite or were you invited to go on a date? You see, and is there always a little trepidation uh, with with inviting? Yeah, there could be. Somebody might say no, but really, what does that do? Does that hurt you? Only if you allow it. If you're attached to the outcome, yes, it does. And so you have to become detached from the outcome. This is a great principle, and it's one of the principles to attracting wealth. Become detached from the outcome. You visualize what you want, you work toward it, but don't be attached to the outcome because it may come in a different way or through different people than you thought. But nonetheless, it will come if you have the vision, you write it down, you make it plain, you work toward that vision, you visit it every single day. So here's the simplicity. You join a company, I don't care which one. It can be BDM, it can be another one, as long as you believe in what you're doing. You believe that you can benefit people, you can benefit yourself, and that you're not hurting other people. I don't personally see how BDM can hurt anyone. Number one, we're not asking for an arm and a leg. We're asking you to donate to the cause of somebody else who is also struggling just like you are. How can that hurt? How can that hurt anyone, especially if there is a principle called the law of the harvest that actually works, and somehow, someday, that you're going to get a harvest, a return off of that money that you gave. There's no way to lose. Absolutely no way to lose. So first, you have to find a company that you really believe in. Next, you have to lock onto that company, because tomorrow you're going to see another opportunity. The next week, you're going to see a dozen opportunities. That's just the way it is. But I can promise you this, nobody ever got great in this industry by trying to ride 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 horses at one time, or being like the fox who's chasing a rabbit and gets the rabbit half the way worn down, and then a bigger, fatter rabbit jumps out of the bushes, and oh, that looks better. I better follow that one. Fear of loss, right? You're gonna lose that bigger, fatter rabbit. And isn't that what it's all about? You jump from opportunity to opportunity to opportunity, because the next one that comes along, it seems like it's better, but it's not. The only people who ever got great in this industry found one company and stuck with it. Do you realize there are people today who got involved with Amway 20, 30, 40 years ago, and that's the only company they ever joined? Not only Amway, but other companies as well. And probably my greatest regret in this industry, I can look back at probably 2 or 3 companies that I wish I would have stuck with. Seriously. And because those companies ended up lasting, they got better with time, they got better products, they refined everything that they had built. Maybe at the time I decided, I found something that I thought was going to do better. I was in that same position. So I left one company, went to another company, and now looking back 20 years, if I had stayed with one particular company, that would have, I would be making, hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not more, maybe $1 million monthly. It could be that big. So you have to find a company and stick with it. You have to lock onto it. You will never succeed by jumping pillar to post. You will never succeed by trying to ride 2 horses at one time. A divided mind is your enemy. And when you're trying to work 2 opportunities, you have a divided mind. If you would just find one and focus on it, build it hard, if that company's going to last, and you do that, that's what's going to set you up for those legacy incomes, that life-changing income. And no company, no opportunity is ever built overnight. You have to plan on, give yourself 2 years, plan on making 1 invitation a day without fail for the next 2 years. And here's what I'll promise you. You will make more money than you dreamed possible. But you can't clean your desk and straighten up your room and think that's working on your business or working in your business. That's not how it works. To work in your business, you're going to be picking up the phone, you're going to be calling people, you're going to be meeting people, you're going to be talking to people, you're going to be making real invitations to come to a webinar, to go to a landing page, to watch a video. And you might have to invite that one person a number of times. You might have to invite them over and over again, but don't Don't just pick one person and then invite them today and tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. No, that's not how you do it. Maybe a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or even a month goes by, and then you invite that person again because it's all about timing. If you invited someone and they didn't take the bait at that particular time, timing wasn't right. One of my personally sponsored members in another company had a lead list from another company. He just picking up the phone and dialing for dollars and calling these people and asking, if they were still looking for something, if they were, still interested in making money from home. I don't know exactly what his pitch was. When I was dialing for dollars, I used to say something like, I got your name as someone who at one time was interested in earning money from home. Is that still true? Because I wanted to cut to the chase. If they're not looking, then I don't want to waste their time. I don't want to waste my time. I want to be dialing the next number. And it's all about timing. But that person that said no today might be interested a week from now, a month from now. So he called this lady, a lady that I knew and had networked with, sometime in the past, very successful networker. And he could tell when he talked to her that she was a quality person. And she said no. And he asked, can I stay in touch with you? And she said yes. And so periodically he kept calling her back. On the 17th call back, she agreed to listen. She joined and made him a tremendous amount of money. Okay, so timing has to be right in that person's life. If they say no today, doesn't mean that they'll say no forever. But don't wear them out by calling them every single day. And don't waste people's time. Don't just call and, talk for hours, talk their ear off, especially when when you re, when you sign somebody up and you have a team member. If you will find out what their reason is, what their why, why did they join? Why do they need more money? Was it to put a child through college? Is it hospital bills? Is it credit card debt? Is it their roof is leaking? They need to put a new roof on their home. They haven't gone on vacation for years. They'd like to go on vacation. What is their reason for joining BDM? Do they want to create a retirement? And then once you know what their real reason is, then you ask, can I follow up with you daily just to hold you accountable? Now, if this is what you really want, if you really want that new roof on your house, can I call you up to hold you accountable? Because one of the biggest reasons people fail in this industry is because nobody holds you accountable. You have to be accountable to yourself. But if my sponsor was calling me up every single day and saying, did you make at least one invitation today? That's all you have to ask. Did you make your invitation today? Then pretty soon, I know that my sponsor is going to call without fail, and I'm going to make that invitation because I'm tired of saying no. And if you will find, say, 5 people, you find one person and you start holding them accountable, and then you find another person, start holding them accountable. Okay, so you build this little nucleus of people. This is called networking. And you're holding 5 people accountable. And you're also asking them as they recruit new people, are you making your daily phone call to hold your people accountable? That's all it takes to grow $1 million business, folks. That's all it takes. Anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. If you continue to make invitations, eventually somebody's going to join. You start calling them daily to hold them accountable, and you continue making your daily invitations. And if you want to grow faster, make 2 invitations a day, or 3 or 4 or 5. Okay. But there might be days when you think you want to skip making any invitations at all. You can't do that. If you lay your head on a pillow and you realize you haven't made the invitation that day, you better get up and make that invitation, because what you're doing is you're sending a message to the universe, if you will, saying, I'm determined. I made up my mind. I'm going to do this, because there's always a testing phase. Okay. There's something about this life that we live, that life is going to test us to make sure to let us, I guess, let us know for ourselves that we are determined to get what we're going after. It's really not that God needs to know. You know, I think it's a test to us to see how determined we really are. And if you go to anybody that was ever highly successful, any company that became, a billion-dollar company, and you ask, what got you here? You're going to find a lot of failures. You're going to find a lot of challenges. You're going to find a lot of heartache and headache that got them to that point. But what got them to that point was never giving up. It was daily, daily getting up and doing what needed to be done. And yes, in the beginning, it's going to look like nothing's happening. This is going really slowly. You get that first person, they start making a daily invitation. Now you got two invitations going, and you get another one, and then they get another one. Now you got five invitations going. You see, and pretty soon you have hundreds of invitations being made every single day. And that's the power of leverage. Okay, I've rattled on for quite a while. Do we have any questions?
You're a shy bunch today. You really are.
What's
Okay, I
that?
want to tell a story. Can I have permission to tell a story? A
Absolutely.
true story. I mean, my wife is in the background laughing. It says as if he needs permission. Yeah. Many years ago when I was about 14, I got a job, part-time job, and it paid me $12 a week. And I was forced to go to church every Sunday. So this particular Sunday, I went to church and I thought I'd big myself by putting $2 in the plate.
Hey,
And back
Brian,
in those days,
Brian,
yep,
speak a
yep.
little louder and a little slower.
Okay, sorry.
Your accident, your accident, your accent.
So
Yeah, some of
I,
us
I, I was I
might
was
not pick
forced
it
to go
up.
to church, and I was earning $12 a week, and in those days we used to have $2 notes, and I reached into my pocket and I fumbled around and I pulled out what I thought was a $2 note, and I dropped it in the plate as the plate went past, and I saw that it was my $10 note. You can imagine how I felt. My heart just fell through the floor. My father saw me and he saw my reaction on my face and he laughed. And that made me even more grumpier. So after church, he said to me, when you give something to God, you got to give it with an open mind. Just let it go. I thought, yeah, it's all right for you. You work hard. And he said, I'll prove it to you. And I said, okay. He says, tonight I'll put $1 on the plate. And he says, within a week, I will have $10 back. And I thought, well, this is going to be good. Okay, I'll take you up. So he put a dollar on the plate. Come Thursday next week, nothing had happened. And I was feeling pretty smug with myself. And the phone went. And the lady rang my father and said, Mr. Hedges, I've got a swarm of bees on my fruit tree. Can you come and get them for me, please? And Dad said, yeah, sure. So we went out, both he and I, and the lady picked up the swarm of bees into a bag. And the lady said, how much do I owe you? And Dad said, nothing. She said, oh, no, I've got to pay you something. She said, my son, one bee sting would have killed him. She said, and you're taking all the bees away. I've got to get you something. And Dad said, okay. He said, if you give me anything, I'll just give it to the Salvation Army. She gave him $10. I was gobsmacked. So not only had he got his $10 back, that he said, but that swarm of bees went on to pay many, many times over, producing honey. We split the hives over the years, and I reckon that one swarm of bees would have generated around about $1,000 worth of honey. And it just went on and on and on. I kept challenging him and he kept sort of surprising me. Then I finally gave him a challenge where he had to put $100 in the plate. Nothing happened. And I was feeling super smug. So we went fishing one night and I was singing that old Beatles songs 8 days a week. 8 days a week. And that's what's that song you're singing? And I said, oh, it's a Beatles song, Dad. It's 8 days a week. Why are you singing that? I said, because that's how I feel, Dad. Sometimes make me work so hard, I feel like I'm working 8 days a week. He said, you didn't happen to buy me a lottery ticket, did you, with the non-de-plume 8 days a week on it? And I went, yeah. He says, yeah, I got £12,000 out of it, or $12,000 out of it. So at that stage, I gave up. But it instilled in me the art of giving. And you talk about sowing the seed, John, and that is so true. The art of giving is also sowing a seed. But the interesting thing is we never know where the harvest is coming from often. We might sow it into BDM, and somebody comes along and says to us, oh, listen, I saw your ad in BDM. I have an advertising company. I'd like to promote for you. And when people do that to me, I just say, well, don't join and promote for yourself, because I'll get an override, commission or bonus or whatever the case may be. But it's interesting, as we put out, it comes back in, and it's been proven to me over and over and over again. And I think you're the same way, John. It's been proven to you over and over again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
and so, that's why I love our pay it forward system in BDM.
Well, my sentiments, Brian, are this. You can come back and tell this story every week.
I got that was a short version. You want to hear the long version, but no.
So true. So true, folks. You can't outgive God.
And the other thing too, we never know who or what somebody else knows. And we should never judge a book by its cover. And I've got one more very short story. In 1993, I started my own network marketing business. And after 6 months, I had not made one sale. I hadn't introduced one person. One day, there was a knock on the door, and this little old lady that's there. And I looked at her, and her dress was so thin, you could almost see through it. It was just so threadbare. She had bare feet, and she looked at me and she said, I understand that you are starting a network marketing business. My name's Enid Bailey. Can I come and talk to you? I went, yes. And I immediately judged her. I thought, well, what does this little old lady know? She can't even afford shoes. I looked out, she was driving an old car. And so I invited her in and gave her some lunch and had a chat. She said, oh, I've got a small group I'd like to bring in, and with your business, can you come and talk to us? Now, I had never done public speaking at that stage. So I said, yeah, I'll do that. So we get to the hall, and there were 2,000 people there.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, I'd never done public speaking before. I was very nervous. But as I spoke, I gained more and more confidence. And the funniest thing was I had notes in my pocket, and I had my hand in my pocket, and I was so nervous and my hands were sweating so much that I shredded the actual notes in my pocket. And at one stage, I lifted my hand out of my pocket to sort of make an exclamation, and the notes came out with it and shattered like confetti all over the stage. And the people said to me, later they said, oh, gee, that was a pretty good trick you did there, Brian. That was pretty impressive. I went, yeah, well, it wasn't totally intended. But again, if I'd said no to Enid Bailey that day, we went on to do great things many years, quite a few years, until she passed away, sadly. But just don't judge people by what they look like or by the way they act. And a classic one for me was a millionaire I knew who was an Amway named Paulie Serrata. And he used to dress like a Chinese market gardener in an old car, dropping around town. And his fear was that somebody might kidnap his family, so he always dressed down. And I thought it was a bit sad that he had to have that fear. But again, Somebody's got their hand up. You go. I'll shut up.
Okay. Well, thank you, Brian. That was great. Let's go ahead and unmute. 951.
Okay. Yeah, this is Michael Johnson on a different device. But I wanted to ask you regarding inviting one person a day. Does that require actually speaking to that person? Or I mean, what qualifies? Because we can send out emails and we can do a whole lot of different kinds of marketing stuff. I mean, in your mind, John, what qualifies as okay, I made my one invitation today.
Okay. And go ahead and tell us how you did that.
No, I'm asking you what qualifies
Okay.
as that's what I'm asking. My
Yeah.
question is what qualifies?
Okay. In my opinion, it would require that you talk to somebody. You
Okay.
could, maybe you sent them an email, but you followed up and talked with that person. Maybe you sent them a text message, but you followed up and talked with that person. Maybe,
Oh,
there might be times when the invitation is somebody that you've talked with before and invited before. But I wouldn't do this personally. I wouldn't say, well, I've talked to this guy 5 times before, or this lady 5 times before, and so I talked again today, and that concludes my invitations. I don't have to do any more. I mean, you could do that. However, I would say step up your game a little bit and try to talk to somebody you haven't talked to before at the same time. So that way you end up talking to maybe 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 people in a day because you're following up with people that you talked to before, and you will, as time goes on, have people joining that you talked to 3 or 4 months ago. Timing wasn't right then, but it's right now, and they will end up joining you down the road sometime, especially if you're, following up, being cordial, not being overbearing, just letting them know how you're doing. You're engaged. You're happy with what you're doing, and you're eager to share if they're open to listen.
okay, good.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now
thank
each
you.
each person has to decide for themselves, but it comes back to how badly do you want this? How much effort are you going to give to it? If because the more you do, and I'm not saying go out, you have to go out and talk to 10 or 20 people. You can, if that's what you enjoy doing. The gentleman that's really making it happen right now, he loves just going out and meeting new people and talking to new people. And so, he's out looking for quality people. It might be, he likes to frequent cigar shops. He goes to car dealers or to, different professional people. Anywhere he goes, he'll bring up the conversation. He'll talk to people. And, we can do that too. Yeah, it takes stepping out of our comfort zone. But anything you consistently do and persistently do, you get more comfortable with it. You get better at it. And all you have to do is to make a lot of money in this industry is just be a good inviter. That's it.
Yeah, thank you. That's good.
You're welcome, Michael. Thank you.
John, how do I put in a text into this. Oh, hang on, I might have found it. No, I
Go
haven't.
to chat.
Yeah, that's my issue. I can't find chat on my computer.
Do you have a black bar somewhere on your screen?
Yep.
Okay. In that black bar, you'll either have show a chat right there or maybe under more.
Okay, let's go to more. Oh, here we go. Chat one. Ah, okay. I'm putting in a link. This is just to my special link for my whiz bang new program. No, I'm lying. That link there, guys, is to the secret of success. John brought this up in a BDM meeting about 2, 3 weeks ago, and it is brilliant. It's 35 minutes long. Grab yourself a cup of coffee, sit down, watch it. It is good value. It was recorded in 2015, and it's as relevant today as it was then.
Yeah.
One of the things I do, I've set myself a goal to talk to 5 people a day, because where I live, I'm pretty isolated, and so I can only talk online with people. So I go through Messenger, I go through Facebook, and over the years, I've built up a collection of people I can talk to. And out of all the people I know, I'd say probably 4% are interested in network marketing of some description. Um, and many others are doing different things, and we share ideas how we can help each other. And much to my surprise, every now and then, one of them will join my BDM business. And John will tell you how many people I've got in my business at the moment. They're not all active. I've got over 500, I think, isn't it, John? Sorry, 300. I lied.
300, yeah.
322. About 57 are active on some level. So that's pretty good going. And out of those 57, probably 8 or 9 are more than active. They're doing their one a day. So do include, just give yourself some time. Don't put pressure upon yourself. If you don't know what to say, write down something like you're writing a letter to somebody, and then just rehearse it a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I often say to people, this may or may not be for you, but are you willing to have a look? And they can give me a yes or a no. And if they say yes, then I tell them about BDM a little bit. Go and have a look at the site, and then come back to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then they do. And that's how I grow my business. I do mass emailing as well. I don't get a good as response with mass emailing as I do with personal contact. Personal contact will beat you anything else, hands down. But that's my
Absolutely.
2 cents worth of game.
Yeah. So back to your question, Michael, you could chat back and forth with people online. That's one way. And just like Brian was talking there, you invite them to take a look. They say yes, they say no. Uh, but you've made an invitation. So there's many ways you can do it, but try to have some interaction if you can.
Right. Yeah, I got it. It requires engagement.
Hmm.
Yeah, okay.
But folks, if you just make the decision and you do something every single day and you just stick with it, that's what it takes. You will never become accomplished at anything unless you do it consistently. Riding a bicycle, learning to walk, playing a piano, any other musical instrument, becoming an artist, uh, talking, speaking. I don't care what it is. You will never get good at anything without effort, without working at it. So if you want to become a good inviter, just make more invitations, because the more you make, the better you will become. Well, let's go ahead and wrap up. One of the reasons we created BDM wasn't just to help people make money. It was to help millions of people transition into the crypto world safely, confidently, and fast enough to get in front of the biggest financial wave of our lifetime. Because here's what we know: the window's still open, but it won't stay open forever. Right now, there are emerging cryptocurrencies that are still affordable, still under the radar, still within reach, but they won't stay that way. We built BDM as a bridge, a simple, duplicatable system that gives everybody the cash flow, the access, and the education to move with speed, to enter the crypto space, to buy digital assets while they're still affordable, and to leverage that into a legacy that can transform families for generations. And I guess one of my greatest regrets was that I didn't buy cryptocurrency, I didn't buy Bitcoin when it was a nickel. $100 then, and I could have easily done that. Would be worth 234 million today. I guess I look at the other side of it, and because I know people that did buy Bitcoin early and they lost access to their wallet, so they actually ended up losing it. Perhaps that would have happened to me. Maybe I would have had millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin, and with the failure of a computer or transitioning from one computer to another, losing access to the wallet, that could have happened too, and then I probably would have been even a bigger regret. But this is bigger than commissions. It's about positioning yourself and your loved ones for a future that looks radically different than your past. You've prayed, you've waited, you've hoped. Now it's time to move. So don't let this moment pass you by. Join the mission, join the seed, or sow the seed. Get in the flow. Better Deals and Money isn't just our name, it is our assignment. And we believe your harvest is already in motion. Thank you for being here. Let's go build something that lasts. Welcome to the movement. Welcome to BDM. God bless, and we'll see you on our next webinar. For those who would like to join us, we have a kind of a faith-based meeting on Sunday where we work on personal development, transformation. We have a lot of different subjects, but we don't get into the business aspect really. It's just about us. Then again, on next Tuesday and Thursday, we'll have webinars then. I may actually start doing some additional webinars throughout the week. So watch your Telegram and watch your emails. And if you'll go through your email, if you're not getting our regular emails, please go through your spam folder and find our emails, mark them as not spam so that they will come to your inbox, and also let your downline know to do that. One of the biggest problems today in the business world is getting email delivered, but we'll get on top of that eventually. The more people who whitelist our email address, the more emails will get delivered. They will actually start realizing that we're not some kind of a scam organization. Anyway, God bless. Have a wonderful evening. We'll see you very soon.
Thanks, John.
Good night.
Good night.